Level 1. The hunger. You're 14 years old. You live in Hyesan, a small city on the northern border. Your father works at a state factory. He hasn't been paid in 4 months. The factory has no materials, nobody works, nobody gets paid. But everyone shows up anyway because if you don't show up, you get reported. Your mother sells things at the Jangmadang, the black market. Vegetables, old clothes, small items she trades with neighbors. It's illegal. Everyone does it. The police know. They just want their cut. Today you ate 1 bowl of corn porridge. Yesterday the same. The day before, nothing. You're not starving, not yet. But you know what starving looks like. You saw it in 1997 when you were too young to understand. Your grandmother told you about it. 3 million people. Gone. The government called it the Arduous March. They said it was America's fault. You believed them because there was nothing else to believe. Your little sister is 7. She's thin. Her legs look wrong. Your mother doesn't say anything, but you see her face when she looks at your sister. That face scares you more than the hunger. You go to school. You learn about the great leader. You sing songs about the marshal. You recite loyalty pledges. You believe most of it. You've never heard anything different. But at night, through a cheap Chinese radio your father hides under the floorboards, you sometimes hear things. Korean voices. Different Korean. South Korean. They talk about food, about jobs, about something called the internet. You don't understand everything, but you listen. You don't tell anyone about the radio, not even your best friend. In North Korea, your best friend can get you killed. Level 2. The decision. You're 17. Things got worse. Your father was arrested 6 months ago. He was caught with a Chinese phone. Someone reported him. You don't know who. You never find out. He's in a detention center somewhere. Your mother paid everything she had to a broker who said he could help. The broker disappeared with the money. You're the man of the house now. You and your mother and your sister survive on what she makes at the market and what you carry for merchants. Heavy bags, long hours, 500 won a day. That's less than nothing. One evening, a woman approaches your mother at the market. She's maybe 40. Calm face. She speaks quietly. She says she knows a way. Across the river. Into China. She says there's work in China. Real money. She says she's done it herself. She says she can arrange it. Your mother says no. 3 weeks later, your mother says yes. You don't fully understand what you're agreeing to. You think it's temporary. Cross the river, work in China for a year, come back with money, find father, fix everything. Simple. That's what you tell yourself. The broker charges 2,000 yuan. You borrow it from a neighbor who asks no questions. You'll pay it back. Of course you will. You're not escaping North Korea. You're just going to China for a while. That's what everyone tells themselves. Level 3. The river. It's January. The Tumen River is frozen. You go at 3 a.m. You, your mother, your sister, the broker, and 2 other people you've never met. A man in his 30s, a teenage girl, alone. Nobody talks. Nobody makes eye contact. The broker knows the guard's schedule. He paid someone. You walk in single file across the ice. It takes 4 minutes. 4 minutes that feel like 4 years. You're on Chinese soil. You don't feel free. You feel terrified. In North Korea, you knew the rules. Here, you know nothing. You don't speak Chinese. You have no documents. You don't exist. The broker leads you to a van. You drive for 2 hours in the dark. Nobody speaks. Your sister falls asleep against your arm. You stare at the ceiling of the van and try to remember how to breathe. You arrive at a farmhouse. A Chinese man gives you food. Real food. Rice and meat and vegetables. Your sister eats so fast she gets sick. Your mother cries quietly while she eats. You don't cry. You just eat and try to think about what comes next. What comes next is the problem. Level 4. The hiding. You're in Jilin Province, China. You live in a single room behind a Korean-Chinese family's house. They're ethnic Koreans. They speak Korean. They're not bad people, but they know what you are and they use it. You work 14 hours a day in their greenhouse. No pay for the first 3 months. That's the deal. You pay back the crossing fee with labor. Your mother works in the kitchen. Your sister goes nowhere. She can't go to school. She can't go outside. A North Korean child asking questions is a North Korean child who gets everyone arrested. China does not recognize North Korean defectors as refugees. If police find you, they send you back. If you get sent back, you go to a labor camp. If you go to a labor camp, you probably don't come home. Everyone knows this. So you become invisible. You learn basic Chinese in 3 months. You learn which neighbors can be trusted and which ones would report you for 500 yuan reward. You learn to walk like you belong somewhere. You learn to keep your mouth shut in ways that North Korea never even taught you. But you're not safe. You're never safe. One afternoon, a man comes to the farm. He's not police. He's something else. He looks at you and your mother the way a man looks at something he's calculating the price of. The farmer's wife tells you to go inside. She says it quietly, but her eyes say, "Run." You go inside. You listen through the wall. Numbers are discussed. You don't hear everything. The man leaves. The farmer's wife comes in. She says you need to leave soon. She says this area is getting dangerous. She says she knows someone who can help you go south. You realize the greenhouse was never the destination. It was a waiting room. Level 5, the network. There is an underground system. It has no official name. It's run by Christian missionaries, Korean Chinese volunteers, and defectors who made it and came back to help others. It moves slowly and quietly, and it saves lives. A pastor contacts you through the farmer's wife. He's a small Korean Chinese man in his 50s. He doesn't look like someone who risks everything for strangers. He does it anyway. He's done it for 11 years. He explains your options. You can try to reach the South Korean consulate in Beijing. Very dangerous. High surveillance. Many people get caught. Or you can go south through China to Southeast Asia. Long journey. Expensive. But it works more often. You choose south. The pastor connects you with guides. Each guide takes you one section of the route and hands you to the next. You never know more than the next step. That's intentional. If you get caught, you can't reveal what you don't know. You travel by bus, by train, by car, by foot. You cross Yunnan province in southwest China. You sleep in churches, in safe houses, in the back of trucks. Your sister gets a fever for 5 days. You pray for the first time in your life. Not to the great leader, to whatever else might be listening. Your mother is quiet for most of the journey. She's not the same woman who sold vegetables at the Janmadang. She's harder now. Smaller somehow. But she keeps moving. She never stops moving. You cross the border into Southeast Asia on foot through jungle. At night, it rains the entire time. You lose one shoe in the mud and walk the last 2 hours with one bare foot. You're out of China. You're not safe yet, but you're out. Level 6, the waiting. You're in Bangkok. You turn yourself into the UNHCR office, the UN Refugee Agency. You sit in a plastic chair, and a woman asks you questions through an interpreter and writes things down in a file. You are now officially a person of concern. That's the term they use. Person of concern. You wait in Thailand for 7 months. You live in a small apartment with 6 other defectors. The South Korean government pays a small allowance. Enough to eat. Not enough for anything else. You study Korean every day. South Korean Korean. It's different from yours in ways that embarrass you. Slang, vocabulary, references to things you've never heard of. You feel stupid in your own language. You also feel something else for the first time. Guilt. Your father is still somewhere in North Korea. You don't know if he's alive. You sent money back through a broker network once. You don't know if it arrived. You don't know if it helped. You don't know anything, and the not knowing is a specific kind of pain that doesn't have a name. Other defectors in the apartment have their own versions of this pain. A woman whose son is still there. A man whose wife was caught on the river and sent back. A 16-year-old boy who crossed alone and hasn't spoken in 3 weeks. You don't talk about these things directly. You just exist in the same space and understand each other without words. After 7 months, the paperwork comes through. South Korea accepts you. You're going to Seoul. Level 7, the arrival. Incheon Airport is the most overwhelming place you have ever been in your life. The lights, the shops, the food, the screens everywhere. People walking fast, looking at phones, wearing clothes you've never seen. Everything is loud and bright and moving, and you stand in the middle of it completely frozen. A government worker meets you. She's kind. She takes you to Hanawan, the resettlement center. It's a facility where defectors spend 3 months learning how to live in South Korea. How to use a bank account, how to use public transportation, how to apply for housing, how to register for school or work, how democracy works, how capitalism works, how a country functions when the government is not trying to control every thought in your head. It's 3 months of information entering your brain faster than it can process. Some things are easy. The food is extraordinary, and you eat like a person who spent years not eating enough, which you are. The streets are safe. Nobody is watching you. Nobody is going to report you. Some things are hard. South Koreans are kind, but they look at you differently when they find out where you're from. A defector. North Korean. Some are curious. Some are uncomfortable. Some assume you're uneducated or strange. A girl in your Korean class asks if you really believed Kim Jong-un was a god. She doesn't mean to be cruel, but you feel it anyway. You're from the same country. You speak the same language. But you grew up in completely different worlds, and the distance between those worlds doesn't disappear just because you're standing in the same room. Level 8. The real life. You're 21. You have an apartment in Seoul. It's small, government subsidized. You go to a hagwon to finish your education. You're in class with people 5 years younger than you. You don't care. You study harder than anyone. You get a part-time job at a convenience store. Your manager is patient. He explains the register 3 times without irritation. You work nights. You study days. You sleep 5 hours. It's the hardest you've ever worked and also somehow the most normal you've ever felt. Your sister is in middle school now. She adapted faster than you. She has friends. She uses slang you don't understand. She watches YouTube. She argues with your mother about her phone. She seems okay. You think she might actually be okay. Your mother is slower. She misses things. She misses the neighbors she knew for 20 years. She misses the market even though the market was illegal and exhausting and barely fed you. She misses your father. She will always miss your father. You tried to find information about him through NGO networks. One organization told you he was released from detention in 2019. After that, nothing. You don't know where he is. You sent money twice through brokers. Whether it reached him, you'll never know. You live with this. You learn to carry it. Level 9. The identity. You're 24. You graduated. You have a real job now, customer service at a tech company. You're good at it. You're patient with difficult people. Years of surviving things that were actually difficult makes difficult customers feel manageable. You have friends. South Korean friends who know where you're from and don't make it strange. A girlfriend who grew up in Busan and has never thought about North Korea except as something abstract on the news. You told her everything on your 4th date. She listened without interrupting. Then she ordered more food and asked what you wanted to do next weekend. You love her for that. But you also live in 2 worlds that don't fully connect. You go to Defector community meetings. You know people who are doing what you did, who are still in China, still waiting, still running. You donate money when you can. You speak at a school once about your experience. The students are 16. They look at you like you're from another planet. You are from another planet. That planet is 200 kilometers north, and it still exists, and 25 million people are still living inside it, and most of the world has moved on to other news. You haven't moved on. You can't. Level 10. The wait. You're 30. You have a life, a real one. A job, an apartment, someone who loves you, a sister studying medicine, a mother who has learned to be happy in small moments. You're safe, and sometimes that feels strange, like waiting for something to go wrong, because for so long, something always did. You still wake up at 3 a.m. The brain doesn't forget what it learned to survive. You think about your father. You don't know if he's alive. You've accepted that you may never know. This is a grief most people around you will never understand. Somewhere in Hyesan right now, There's a 14-year-old eating one bowl of corn porridge, maybe listening to a radio, starting to understand that the world the government describes and the world that actually exists are not the same world. You know that moment. You lived it. You crossed the river. You made it. You're not a defector anymore. That word belongs to the running, to the surviving. You're just a person now. That's enough. If this story hit different, subscribe. More lives like this every week.